What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I just wanted to do something whereas I'm just talking. I really was inspired by Red Table Talk with Jada Pinkett Smith. So yeah, she really inspired me to just turn on my camera and like talk to you guys about something that I have dealt with and how I'm dealing with it. Basically, I never realized that I felt unappreciated. And it's so weird because one day my best friend, like, we're talking and she's like, "You feel unappreciated." And I'm like, yeah, but in that moment I still didn't really realize it. It was just like, okay, moving on with life, whatever. But just watching the forums with her and different celebrities, the Red Table Talk, it just really inspired me and empowered me and made me want to just be able to encourage others with what I may have felt and how I deal with it or how I'm dealing with it or how I dealt with it. So I was on Facebook, and you know how your memories pop up. So my memories started popping up or whatever, and I check them out, whatever, like that. And so I saw this particular post that I posted some years ago. I don't even remember how long, but it was probably a while ago. It says something about what a person got to do to feel appreciated or to be appreciated or whatever. And so that struck something in me because I remembered those words that my best friend told me, like, you feel unappreciated. And so it really made me reach into the back of my mind and just really think about, how I did feel unappreciated. And it just brought me back to that, kind of like it was something that I probably had pushed aside. And now, just reading that and being older and wiser, I feel like I can talk about it and really like come to understand what it was. With feeling unappreciated, I think it's important to understand the people who you feel isn't appreciating you. So with me, it was basically friends, family, guys, like, you name it. With family, it would be like, oh, I can't really get support. I'm doing this, that, and the third, and nobody's really like, congratulations. It just seemed like nobody really cared. But that also could be just you thinking that because people aren't caring the way that you would expect them to, that they don't care, if that makes any sense. Just being in, different activities and all these different things, I was a pretty good kid. So I just wanted to feel like people saw what I was doing and that they were proud of me. As a child, I think that's very important to just know that somebody cares, like somebody supports what you're doing when you're doing what you're doing. Not now, because I know better. Like I realize that, I know who I am, so I don't need a pat on the back for what I'm doing now. But when I was younger, just being certain ages and just being like, yeah, I don't have kids. Kids are a thing now, and I'm not doing that right now. So you should be happy for me. Where I come from is kind of normal for people to have kids at a young age and things of the sort, which is not anything that I'm trying to discredit or bash or anything like that. But just being someone who kind of did things the right way, sometimes you just look for that, like, oh, like, good job. So with guys, it was this thing where I was just giving myself. And half of the time, Now, majority of the time, I wasn't in a relationship with any of these people or any of these guys. And I gave so much time. I gave like myself to these people, and like guys weren't thoughtful enough. They just didn't appreciate me, and that's how I felt. And you know, with being younger, I think you don't really realize who you are. In a sense, you kind of still developing who you are. So you don't really know how people should treat you, but I always had that conscience, like, oh, I deserve better, but it was still something in me that was just drawing near to people who didn't offer me better. And I don't know where it came from, but that was just what it was. Maybe, you know, you get so, like, even like coming from where I come from and my environment, my family and everything, maybe you get used to like not receiving that, and you just cope with people who don't uplift you, don't appreciate you, and don't recognize you. Because I also felt like I may have had an issue where I felt unheard and like nobody saw me. You know, people deal with things different ways. So what I did was I pushed everything in the back of my mind. That was what I knew. That was how I did things. I just pushed it in the back of my mind so I wouldn't think about it. And everything just was normal for me. You know, all of these different things that would be abnormal to someone else was very normal to me. So the first thing I think that you should realize with feeling unappreciated, feeling like no one supports you or anything like that is just understanding the person or the people who you are looking for these things from. I had to realize that these people who I was looking for support for, I was looking to be appreciated by, all of these people are people who aren't familiar with the terms, you know, like I'm pretty sure heard it before, but the physical act, actually supporting people, actually appreciating people, not familiar with it. It's like foreign to them. So I had to realize that these people aren't familiar with this. I'm asking for something from people and they have no knowledge of how to be the person that I want them to be. And then you also have to realize, of course, when I was younger, I feel like it's a given. Being younger, you will look for those things. But as I got older, I realized that, am I being this person that I want other people to be? Because now I'm old enough to understand what's happening to a point to whereas I'm like, okay, am I this person that I want people to be to me? And all the time I'm not. To be completely honest, I'm not always supportive. I'm not always appreciative. I'm not always grateful. You should just give grace to people because they don't really know better. I mean, you know, they know better, but they don't know better enough to do better. So I just think that the thing to do is to realize who it is that you're looking for this from. Also surround yourself around people who will appreciate you, who will motivate you, who will support you. Be in community with people like that. You know, the people who you're around, you tend to be more like. So if you're around these people, then you learn how to be these things. That's why community is very important. And also just giving people grace. How Christ gives us grace. And, you know, we may do a lot of things to disrespect him on a daily, and he still graces us with life, with all of these things that we take for granted. I as a Christian, should also do the same to my brothers and sisters, just to set an example and to be more Christ-like. I should be able to give grace to these people who don't understand what it means to appreciate it, what it means to support all these different things. And also, a lot of times, you not being able to give what you want has a lot to do with the way you were raised. So if you came up in an environment where that was unfamiliar, then it'll be unfamiliar to you. And naturally, as people, we always want. So we always want, we always need, but we can't give. Or we don't always want to give. Like it's almost natural for us to want, but never to give. So it's important to just keep in mind, are you being the person that you want people to be to you? And are you appreciating people? Are you forgiving people for not being the person who you expected them to be, or who you want them to be, or who they should actually be? So with that today, that is just how I was feeling today. And I hope that, it encouraged somebody. I want to encourage you guys with scripture, just to leave you with something that you can actually take with you outside of what I've said. We can't leave you guys without a scripture. So Romans 3:24 ERV version, they are made right with God by his grace. This is a free gift. They are made right with God by being made free from sin through Jesus Christ. Basically, we are all made right with God by his grace. And what better way to show that you love someone by being the person who possessed all power, having an opportunity to just literally limit his grace, or even just take his grace away, but still gives us grace through him. And his grace is free. That is just amazing. That is so amazing. Many things, when you think about free in this world, a lot of things aren't free. But to have God's grace and for it to be free to us is amazing. Just think about that. And I just want you guys to really dwell on that. Think about God's grace. And I'll definitely catch you guys in my next video. Until then, peace.